everybody's gonna use AI to make video games now.
We're all fricked.
And Meta wants your dead friends and family to talk to you. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host.
I'm Reece.
We're gonna be going over the hottest tech news we can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. And we're gonna start off today with today's basically an AI heavy episode, which, you know, it's not necessarily atypical these days and ages, but Unity coming out, especially in their latest announcement, saying that they're going to have AI driven authoring and they're going to make it so that people can just make AI video games.
All of it, the whole thing.
The idea is that at GDC in March, they're going to have a new beta of their upgraded Unity AI that will enable developers to prompt full casual games into existence with natural language only, native to their platform, so it's simple to move from prototype to finished product. Now it's going to be part of Unity, which, you know, Unity's been known for making a lot of good decisions lately. They had their scumbag move of their runtime fee changes that got changed back. They're also partnering with Unreal Engine, and then it looks like they are fostering this whole thing.
They're great.
I don't necessarily have a problem with AI tools, right?
Yeah.
So part of this is Unity is a engine, right? So they like develop their own tools in the first place. And if they like train an AI on the stuff that they made and it somehow enables things to work better, it's not them stealing content. It's not exactly the same. And it also isn't clear how this is going to get processed. Is this going to be a cloud-based AI where you have to use Unity's like data center farm? Or is this going to be something that runs locally on an NPU or potentially on your graphics card? Because a local AI LLM that helps you to develop your games faster shouldn't necessarily be that horrible.
I have no problem with, like, if you got a system in place and you're like, I want to tweak the movement of this character. Can you, like, maybe try and come up with a movement system that has maybe a little bounce to it, and then see what the AI does with that, like that? And it's all within the engine. It seems sensible to a degree.
Yes, for prototyping, rapid prototyping, I can understand it, but for finalizing your game, hopefully that's not what we start to see hitting the stores, is all of this casual AI slop games that are coming out.
It's already so prevalent.
Give me one. Name me an AI slop game.
Have you seen the Nintendo eStore?
No.
Don't.
Okay.
It's so bad. It's just the biggest shovelware treasure trove you've ever seen in your life.
You're telling me Nintendo has shovelware on it? The Nintendo Wii? Oh, man. Well, also due to all of this AI stuff in consoles, PlayStation 6, new reports, it's getting delayed till late 2028, 2029, which not new, but Bloomberg's reporting on it. Additionally, that comes with the discussion that potentially the Switch 2 might get a price hike later this year, which again, not necessarily new information.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a continuation of what we've been hearing, that it is getting bad out there, which we'll discuss more towards the end of this episode. But what got bad for a specific person was they stole a lot of stuff from Best Buy.
Oops.
And I just want to talk about this to give like a lighthearted portion. This guy in Florida decided to use his manager's code. Yes. Well, so you know the reason
I had to throw it
so
in
there's
there.
a reason why this happens. It's because Florida has disclosure laws when it comes to things like arrests, so that their stories hit the news cycle because there's just more being reported on by law. It's not that they have crazier people that, all right, whatever. I'm not even gonna, people are gonna say I'm wrong. Anyways, this guy, $118,000 being lost from this scheme where he used the manager code to purchase 97 discounted products for himself and 52 for other people.
Damn.
My question is, managers get 99% off of stuff?
That's also kind of what I'm hearing from this whole story. Guys, go be a
Anyways.
manager at Best Buy.
Got arrested.
Of course,
Yes,
yeah.
because of strange sales numbers that happened in December 2024. Didn't think that it would affect him, but it did.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, so in jail, got arrested. It's not the first time that there's been a shoplifting ring that's been associated with Best Buy, but
Stuff happens there.
you know, he purchased a lot of Apple products, MacBook Pro stuff, and guess what? There's going to be new stuff to see at Best Buy, not sale.
Stop it.
Because March 4th is the announcement date. That is what's been disclosed. The special experience. We're expecting a whole bunch of new Macs. The iPhone 17e is allegedly getting shown off there, but in case you want that, Reece will have to save you some money. so that you can afford it, because you spend money to save money.
I've seen these guys do it. Yo, welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals on the internet, and here's your first deal. We have the Asus ROG Strix B550F Gaming Wi-Fi 2 AM4 ATX motherboard for $139.99, making it $40 off. One of my favorite AM4 boards if you still want to stay on the DDR4 train. But then next up, we have two flavors of OLED. Firstly, with the Alienware 27-inch 1440p 360Hz QD OLED monitor, currently going for $499.99, making it $150 off. Or we have the ultra-wide version with a 34-inch 3440 by 1440 165Hz curved QD OLED gaming monitor, going for $499.99 as well, but this one's $199.01 off. And hey, with that, the deals are done. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below, but until next time, hand you off back to Brett and me for the rest of your hot news. Cheers.
Well, Reece, this has nothing to do with deals at all. It just has to do with Intel saying that they're still committed to the graphics department and them revealing the next generation of their architecture. It's going to be mostly linked to AI. Data centers is what they're talking about. It's called XE Next.
I don't like it.
It's not. It
doesn't
just a placeholder. It's the next one. It's after 3P, which is going to be their Celestial. Allegedly, the gaming architecture is going to be named Druid after that, but who knows if we'll even get that, because this is just inference optimized, and it's going to be them focusing on AI stuff, and Valve finally breaking their silence on the Steam Deck OLED not being for sale. And it's exactly what everybody speculated. Steam Deck OLED may be out of stock intermittently in some regions due to memory and storage shortages. Steam Deck LCD is no longer in production. So
just a clarification statement
of what everybody suspected, which is good. You know, our Sherlock Holmes hats are still working properly for us to be like, hey,
justified.
This seems AI, memory, and storage related, and Valve coming out and saying
Surprise.
It's AI storage. That's great. This is perfect. And it's not the only warning that we're getting, because Phison, which is involved in things like storage, has come out and said that this is going to kill a lot of your favorite brands. This is going to kill a lot of companies this year. Companies are either going to go bankrupt, or they're going to have to get it out of product lines entirely simply because of the shortages, and that this is going to affect everything from laptops to smartphones to automobiles to data centers, and that it's just going to see a large number of failures, whether that's the 200 to 250 fewer phones that get to be produced, or PC and TV production that's going to be sliced. It's going to be ruined. So it looks bad. Companies are warning us now. Think your favorite brand like Framework, who is barely thriving in the first place, and it's now going to be put into a situation where they might not be selling very much, even if they're, keeping their memory prices rising to match what's their cost. It's not looking good. Which, you got to wonder how many companies will be able to pivot and move. Like Crucial, Micron saw the writing on the wall and was like, you know what? Our Crucial brand's probably going to die anyways. Let's just shift to AI. How many companies are going to do that? How many companies are going to be like, no, we're going to fight to keep this and somehow figure this out and
hopefully not die in the process.
Yes. And how many computer tech YouTubers are going to lose their situation this year because they are unable to make content that people actually want to watch, because people can't actually afford anything.
No one can buy the stuff.
Oh boy, this is 2026 going to be the year of reckoning for a lot of people, and also internally they're discussing that this isn't going to get fixed until at least 2030, or even the ripple effects will happen until 20. Did I say 40? I meant 30. And then talk about 2040. It's going to be a long time. 4 to 14 years is what we're looking at. Obviously, a lot of this assumes that there is no catastrophic event that happens in data center area. And I've been doing a lot of research, kind of not related to hot news, on the financial structure of this whole thing. And the unfortunate truth is that real money that these companies had on hand is being spent. It is not fake money for companies like Nvidia or companies like Google or Microsoft or Amazon or Apple. They were sitting on cash, and they are now burning cash. But that doesn't mean that they have to recoup their investment. They already had the cash on hand. Certain companies like OpenAI, that whole thing's a weird bubble of circular, you could pop it and then they disappear. But the infrastructure investments of certain companies, even if AI disappears, that doesn't mean that necessarily all of these companies are going to go under, and then all of their data centers don't work. So we'll see how it all plays out. But here's the greatest use of AI. It's being found out that Meta got a patent. They filed this patent back in 2023. They received it in December of 2025 that will let your dead friends and family members talk to you on their platforms. Think WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook.
Literal dead internet theory.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. So this is part of there's a whole thing of grief tech that already exists.
Grief tech?
Yes, where people are trying to utilize AI to somehow facilitate people leveraging AI to either pretend to be dead or it's a weird, unhealthy situation, which like I don't want to tell anybody how to process grief, but at the same time, it seems, especially when Meta's involved with it, manipulative.
Yeah.
It's one thing when a grieving loved one goes to a company and is like, here, I'm going to give you all of my records. Can you give me an LLM? Versus Meta being like, hey, we noticed you haven't posted in a while. We're going to post on your behalf. Which is exactly what the patent kind of focuses on. It's a language model for simulating the user when the user is absent from the social networking system. For example, when the user takes a long break or if the user is deceased.
I don't like that at all.
Well, it's going to get worse.
Great. Hit me.
So the reason they're doing this is that the impact on the users, plural, so the platform, is much more severe and permanent if that user is deceased and can never return to the social networking platform. So Instagram and Facebook suffer more when people die, which is why they need to bring them back so that the platform doesn't suffer and that you can engage with them.
You are monsters.
This is
the most dystopian sounding crap I've ever heard.
So I was thinking of this because I do have a dead family member who still has a Facebook profile. My mom, when she passed away, didn't do anything to delete it. And it would be ridiculously awful if she just started talking and then like started sending Farmville requests because that was still relevant when she passed away. Like, it would be a wild experience.
It'll be even worse if they now start recommending brands in ad form as, oh, you know, hi, son, you would love this product.
Oh, that would be a way that they could do it. And obviously they could get sued for all of that kind of stuff, but they could obviously update their privacy policy to make it so that like your account belongs to them. And if you pass away without actually having some sort of will and testament bequeathing it to your friends and loved ones, they get to do what they want with it. However, all of this is conspiracy theory and conjecture right now because Meta says they have no plans to move forward with the example of leveraging your loved one's data to get them to talk to you to keep you on the platform and make you feel better about everything. So
they just have the patent for it.
Yes, they just have the patent. They're welcome to go ahead and do it. And they have no plans. That just means they're not going to do it right now. There's some initial outrage. A lot of people are upset with this.
Wait for it to die down. Slowly start finding ways to shove it in there later on.
We didn't have plans in February of 2026.
When they filed it.
Yeah, but March of 2026, we have plans now. It just took some planning. Oh, well, let's hope that none of yins are dead leaving comments in our YouTube section. So let's go ahead and see what you had to say in yesterday's episode of Hot News. We got Agamon saying, just before all this started, my brand new PSU fried 14 terabytes of hard drives.
Oh.
You should speak to Meta because they can bring things back from the dead.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah, they should be able to LLM your 14 terabytes somehow. And then we got Jeremy F. Moses saying, by definition, you can't autoerotically asphyxiate someone else. And Zero echoes, thank you for responding. Not with that attitude. All right.
I like that response.
I do like that response, but I also have my own, which is number one, it's a metaphor. We were talking in the context of corporations, which are people, I guess. You know, legally in the United States, they are people, but if you think about it, a company is both themselves and their customers. They are one. And so when they choke themselves, the customers also get choked. And so like the company portion of the whole enterprise is enjoying it. Are you timing me on how long I'm talking about this? So they're enjoying it, but the customers are dying. So that it's part of the body of the corporation. Yeah. So it's like the one portion's enjoying it, the other portion is losing blood oxygen.
There's another one watching.
It works. Who's watching? Shareholders.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got Palm Grove Software saying, I did hear the Primogen call it the Great Rammet. Kind of like it. The Primogen has been showing up everywhere for me. I haven't watched any of his content.
I don't know what that is.
another tech content creator. It seems like he has a lot of good thoughts and opinions on this whole situation that's going on. I've only seen him post on Twitter, and I have started to get his content recommended on my home feed. I just haven't had the time to engage with it, but
I'll check it out.
let me know if you guys enjoyed the Primogen at all. I'm curious. And then we got the Mike UC saying, Reece, I need a UFD deal on an SFF case and power supply. We gave you one last week. It's the Sneaker X here in South Africa.
Specifically if you're here
you
in
can
South
get it
Africa.
for $220. That gives you the case, which is a sneaker. You get a power supply, which is 850 watts, and you get a 360 millimeter AIO liquid cooler.
All in one.
Yeah, I'm building my PC in it. It's a great
They're
deal.
really cool, actually.
And then we got 4R Remy saying Nardwuar reference. Did you make a Nardwuar reference?
I
didn't catch it.
I did.
What'd you do?
It's the doo-doo-doo-doo.
Oh, it is. Oh, and then I finished. I did it.
You did.
I wasn't thinking of Nardwuar when I did that. And then we got Scarfo saying, so can I make a comment about the HDMI used in the cameras at the USA office? Not offering technical advice. I'm not a hypocrite because I don't fully support open source software like Linux people. So I can use HDMI because I am a hypocrite in other ways that involve me saying I don't like HDMI's licensing fee structure, and yet I still participate.
Society.
Very curious. I am thinking, let me know. So this is relevant to comment response and has nothing to do with the last comment. What if we open a WhatsApp hotline?
Ooh.
People can send WhatsApp messages, voice notes, like a more engaged way of responding to comments.
I definitely wouldn't mind that.
We could create a UFD Tech official comment response line. Let me know what you think of that. It will be South African. It will be a South African number, but WhatsApp, you shouldn't get charged. But then you have to use a Meta product, and then, they're gonna.
That's up to you.
They're gonna bring you back from the dead. So you figure it out.
Immortality.
Yeah, I complain about Meta, yet I use WhatsApp. Very curious.
Curious.
See you next time.